What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FX Racer Career Mode. Today we have episode number 10 for my home race at Silverstone. Finally, it's only been a month or so since the last race at the Mexican Grand Prix, and as you can see on screen, we finished P5, and that means we are now tied with Bulls Gaming for the championship lead for the very first time this season. And that's at a critical point in the year, because this Grand Prix, round 10 of 20 in this season, therefore marks the halfway point. So it looks like we're starting to come good at the right time. I've just purchased some aerodynamic upgrades for the car to try and make it even quicker. Now then, moving into qualifying, obviously that was just the end of my outlap. This circuit is one that kind of caught me out, because I've never driven a lap around this circuit in this game, and it's completely different to the layout from Silverstone in real life. There are some sort of similarities, like this corner here, I can tell I think is supposed to be Cops. But yeah, unlike some of the other tracks, this little section almost reminds me of Spain. But, you know, it was quite confusing to get the hang of, and you can see that immediately in my first lap, my first proper timed lap, I end up only in P17, so there is work to be done, there is improvement to be found as we head on towards the final lap in qualifying. Also notice that the pit lane is in a different place to the start-finish straight, which is something which I don't think I've ever seen on this game before, however is a feature that I actually quite like. So now as we're coming through the final sector, I'm hoping that this time is going to be an improvement to the one before, and it looks like it is, because we've still gone purple in the first two sectors, and as we go across the line, it's P13. Okay, that's not terrible. It could have been worse, I guess. However, Bulls Gaming is on pole, so my direct championship rival at the moment is starting from the front of the field, so we need to make sure that we get a good start. I've decided I'm going to start on the mediums, which is the third hardest compound here, as we are now underway for round 10 of the FX Racer Career Mode. Looks like a great start, actually found loads of room up the inside, and we're already going side by side with KA Falcon 11. Now, one thing I'm going to point out is, you may not have seen it at the start of the video, because I'd still had all the constructors' teams written out based off the name of the league driver in that team. However, since then, I've decided to go through every car and check the car colours and see which one it corresponds to most accurately in real life. So, because obviously we are driving the black car, that means we effectively are driving for Mercedes, and you can see the two orange cars in front of Gabo and KA Falcon 11 basically represents that they are driving for McLaren, etc, etc. As we now, speaking of KA Falcon 11, send one down the inside, and there's a bit of contact. Oh my word, I didn't mean for that to happen. Hold on, let's see if we can get a quick replay of that to fully understand what happened there. So, you can see I went for the gap there. That was probably a gap that was closing too quickly. I'm not sure if you perhaps didn't see me in the wing mirrors, but in hindsight, had I known the gap was going to close that quickly, I would have backed out of that move. So, that's unfortunate, because KA Falcon was right up there in the championship. So, you know, I hold my hand up. Once again, that one was on me. One thing that I did notice in this Grand Prix, watch this little incident now. Like, I've got past Gabo, I'm not sure if there was actually any contact, but all of a sudden he goes flying off. We know that in this game the AI are ultra sensitive to any contact that we make. And also another thing I've noticed is that it's impossible to drive the car in a straight line. Like, look at this, I don't know if the handling's just wrong, basically, but it's almost impossible to control the car. And I know the AI are the same, as I just went for that move on TB95. You can see he's absolutely nowhere to be seen, and there was no contact made because it was just on the straight. So this is something that I don't know if the developers are aware of, but there's something I'd really like to see patched up, is the fact that the cars just constantly move in a straight line. Although that's a nice little dive bomb there to catch my teammate unawares. We go up the inside of Leo F1, who's now coming through the final couple of corners to start lap number 5. So we're about the halfway point in this race, and we're up into P2, and here is Bulls Gaming, my championship rival, on the hard compound tyres. So I'm putting all sorts of pressure on, swarming around him like a hungry fox at the moment, although because I'm unable to make a manoeuvre, I think what I am in fact going to do is trigger the pit stop phase and come in for an undercut on this lap. So in terms of the pace though, I think the pace has been good. Obviously we've made really good progress to get from P13 all the way up to P2 by the start of lap number 6, which is great. The tyres are wearing out a bit now, they're only on 13%, so I quite fancy a gamble. We are going to go for the super soft tyres twice. we're going to convert this into a 2-stop Grand Prix. We're now exiting the pit, so thankfully it looks like we're in P5, which is not too bad. We've also got plenty of clean air to push into, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. There's the guys making the pit stop you might have just noticed in the minimap in the top centre of your screen. We're now up into P2, so that means Bulls Gaming has continued out for another lap, and I did actually notice that he was on the hard compound tyres, and here he is now into the pit lane, and you can see massive undercut, massive pace from me in clean air, and by the time we are on lap number 9, I'm going to make my second and final scheduled pit stop onto a brand new set of super soft tyres. That stint was very boring, nothing happened, it was basically just me driving around doing laps in clean air, which, you know, if you particularly want to watch me do qualifying laps, then just let me know and maybe I'll include a bit more of that in the next episodes. But out we come then in P6, which is not good. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't gone for this strategy because it's leaving me with an awful lot to do now with 2 laps to go, a lap and a half to go in fact. However, we know we have very good pace, so we're now going to have to try and exploit absolutely everything, throw the kitchen sink at this. This is TB95, driving the Scarlet Ferrari. I'm going to try not to hang around. You can see this is a big train, so the quicker I can dispatch some of these guys, I think the quicker we're going to be able to chase after Bulls Gaming, who is in the lead. So this is P5, P4, P3 and P2, and unfortunately Bulls Gaming is nowhere in sight. Now as we're starting the final lap, this might be the best that we can get. If we can get past all of these guys, this might have to be a damage limitation Grand Prix now, which I am a little bit frustrated with because I definitely think the pace was there for the win had I potentially got the strategy correct. But up into P5 we go, just on straight line speed. We're going to size up the move, go down the inside of Leo with one. No, we hit my teammates. Oh dear. Why does this keep happening in this game? The gap at that corner just closes. It's so frustrating because I don't want to be taking the AI out, but equally I just felt like I would have gone for that in monoposto and got away with it. Here we go, up the inside. That gap is there. I think, I don't know, maybe I just steered slightly too wide and not sharp enough into the corner because there was definitely enough space. I think I just didn't make it work. So again, I hold my hands up. That one is probably definitely on me. And then we go for a move up the inside of Gabo and Classic KT, but then I run wide actually onto the grass, and that gives the orange McLaren the place. Although unfortunately that is going to be all. We have managed to recover some positions on this final lap, but it's not enough to win. That honour has gone to Bulls Gaming, who wins the British Grand Prix, and for me it's only third in my home race. That of course is the podium from the race, which marks the halfway point of the season. We've just seen that. To be honest, I was disappointed with this Grand Prix. You can see I was clearly the fastest driver on the 2-stop. In fact, the only driver on the 2-stop, which in hindsight I was kicking myself for because I definitely had the pace to make the 1-stop succeed. I should have just gone from a medium to a soft tyre and then quite easily managed to go the race distance. Track limits weren't a problem in this Grand Prix. Nobody got more than 1, and in fact only 3 drivers got 1 warning. Julian 69, Vida Azante and Hayden. But that is the Drivers' Championship. That's the most important thing to look at after this Grand Prix. I potentially bottled 18 points from this race by running wide, but you know, it doesn't matter. We're still only 10 points off the championship lead, and there's still 10 races to go. So there is plenty to look forward to in the rest of this season. And there of course is the updated Constructors' Championships based off the colours of the teams which are in the game. I'll definitely look into some more customization options for season 2 and beyond. But that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.